So, I actually had a pretty serious dream just now, and I really didn't understand it like at first because you're just watching it, but you're like you're part of it, but you're watching a lot of it too. And I just seen that like it was a lot of younger kids. I don't want to say kids, but I'm 41, so they were kids. They were probably like college kids, like early 20s. They were definitely like, frat sorority type kids. And they were all just all about partying, and they're just doing like really, you could just tell there's absolutely like no filter. I'm trying to remember one thing that they were doing. It was like they were all they were all getting high, that was for sure. But I feel like they were almost like drinking and like vomiting in the and then like drinking the vomit and the the alcohol or something. Like it was something like they were doing something like that. It was just like stuff that's like there was just like no common sense. Like it was just buffoonery. Like I don't even know like a word to describe it. Like there's just no common sense. And this part's kind of graphic, but I remember like I was overhearing a conversation, and it was a African American guy, and I remember when he was talking, his teeth were like black, and I feel like he had like braces on, or like he had like these clear braces on, but he had like his teeth were like grayish black, and I couldn't understand that either. Like I was like why would you have like braces on when your teeth are like in that type of condition? But he was just talking casually, and he was saying something like, yeah, like these people were getting mad because I was having sex with my daughter. And there was like a little bit of a silence like after he said that. And I'm just like my jaw like dropped to the floor. Like I almost wanted to punch him. But it felt like I wasn't there. It was just like I was just like watching. Like I was just hovering. Not hovering, but I was there, but it wasn't like I was there. It was like nobody knew I was there, but I was there. Like I was a ghost or something. And then this Caucasian girl, she was a young girl too. She was just like she was like, well, that's stupid because everybody knows your daughter wants it like that. And then he was like, I know. He was like, I'll be in the marketplace or wherever, and she's just like, I need it now. I need it now, and I have to give it to her. And I mean, I felt like vomiting. Like I couldn't understand like how this was. I couldn't understand like how this was even like um, a conversation. Like I don't know. It's just like it that really bothered me right there. And um, I knew something was really. I knew for a fact like um, and when the dream started, it was like everybody was getting their hair cut. Like it was like a group. It was like a barber shop, but it was almost. It wasn't like a barber shop. It was like a like here in Columbus, Ohio. They have these like frat houses. So there's like the first floor and the second floor, and like the second floor, they'll have like a balcony, and like all the kids are partying on the balcony, and then like on the third floor is like a roof, and then they'll even go out on a roof, even if it's not like a flat roof, because most roofs aren't flat, so there'll be like a little slant to the roof. They'll still put like chairs on the slanted roofs and sit out there and get drunk, and they already do that right now. So it was like that. It was like it wasn't a barber shop. It was like a frat house, and people was out there getting their hair cut. And I was like, well, I don't got any cash on me. Like I got Venmo or whatever, and they were just looking at me weird, like, huh? Like they was like, we'll take your phone or something. Like they was like, just call it to me or something. And I'm like, call it. So I don't know what that was about or whatever. And somebody was going. One of the kids said he was going to cut my hair, and like my hair is short now, but like in the dream it was like, because I just shaved my head bald like a couple months ago, but I used to get fades like before that. But I just got tired of like going to these different barbers, and it gets expensive getting haircuts like every week. You spend like $25 a week. It's like $100 a month. So I just got tired of that, you know. So I was like, I'll just shave it. Like it's not a big deal to me. But anyways, you know, now it's like because it's hot too in the summer. So I'm like, well, I'll probably grow it back for the winter. So I started growing it back. So in this dream, I was like, I remember seeing myself in the mirror and I had all my hair back, and I'm like, wow, that grew quick. But I also remember it was like summertime in the dream too, you know. So I don't know, but this was definitely after the rapture. Like that's 100%. So, um, but one thing I knew, everybody was it was back to partying, and that was like the main thing. Like everybody was just doing the most, and um, so I ended up not getting my hair cut, but I was watching like all these other kids get their hair cut, and they were getting like the mullet cut. I guess that was like back in style or something for some reason. I don't know, but everybody was getting those type of cuts, like where they had like the mullets, like the hair is like kind of long in the back, and then they had like the bangs, but everything in between was just shaved, so it's kind of like a fade, and then it had like the bangs in the on the back of the neck, and then the bangs on the top by their forehead. So I seen like 4 or 5 kids getting that type of haircut, and so I really didn't know anything. I knew it was kind of weird that I was even like around them because I don't do that. Like I just work, come home, I do my homework, go to bed, repeat. Pretty much. So yeah, I know. I'm trying to finish up this degree that I started a long time ago, and it just got interrupted. And I don't like unfinished, not finishing things that I start to work on. So I'm on. I was almost done getting this degree like many years ago, and I was like right at the end, and then like all these things happened, divorce, my dad dying, and yada yada. So finally wanted to have the had a chance to start finishing that, and it's a good thing actually because it helps keep me focused because I'm in the Word all day long, and I will come home and like relax. And actually, that's kind of I think why I had this dream because I'm sure it's the devil, but like when I get home, I try to watch YouTube on my TV so I could continue, listening and staying in the Word because YouTube you can pick what you want to watch, and I could watch like Soldiers for Christ community channel and try to keep up with that because they post a lot of stuff, and since I drive, it's hard to keep up with all the programs. But I'm trying to like I want to like watch them all and take notes and all of that. And I've been listening to all the books of the Bible. Like I, for the past 2 days, I've just been listening to Second Esdras, and that's like 2 hours long. So it's just a lot, because I mean, even if you listen to it once, you're not going to get everything. It's just like if you read the Bible once, you're not going to get everything. So you just want to keep doing it over and over and over and over again. So you make sure that you're like learning everything. But anyway, so I could this the my Xbox is blocking YouTube, so I can't watch YouTube through the Xbox anymore. So I tried to order a Chromecast device, and when it came, it didn't work. So I know it's the devil because he's gonna try to block you from staying in the Word, you know. So I kind of just gave up last night because when I do my homework, I want to have something in the background. I don't know why. I just need to have like something, you know, just some type of something playing low in the background, and you know, I want it on my TV. I could play it off like another device, like another phone or another my Amazon tablet or whatever. But there's issues with those too, you know. So it used to just be I could just play it through the YouTube app on my TV, and it would just have like autoplay, and you just could stay listening to stuff. But anyway, something I just watch like I just try to watch because you know Amazon's corrupted, just like Netflix. I don't have Netflix, but I know those things are all corrupted, so you don't really want to chance it. But sometimes they do have like Christian TV shows and Christian movies on there, but it's very rare. It's like less than 1%. So I saw like a John Claude Van Damme thing on there, and I'm like, oh well, this is. I remember him from like the '90s or the '80s or whatever, and it looked like it was a comedy. And he's older now, so I didn't think it was going to be anything bad, but and it really wasn't honestly compared to like what they have that's out there. But it still it still had like cuss words in it, and their theme song was really inappropriate for it. And I knew it was bad, so I shut it off. But it was like I couldn't focus finishing my homework either. So like once I shut it off, I did my homework for like another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I got sleepy, so I just stopped altogether. But because of that, I think that's why the Lord gave me this dream. Because a few days ago, I had a dream where this was a scary dream. They said that basically I had a warrant for my arrest, and they said that it was for the murder of somebody named Mishan Mile. Two M's. Mishan Mile. I looked the name up on the internet. I couldn't find it. There was like a partial name that was born because you know how like a registry for all the babies that were born, and I think it was like something in Florida, and then a Joe Biden ad popped up when I was doing that search. So to my recollection, there's not a Mishan Mile that exists. And I don't know why I was saying that I murdered. Remember in the dream, I'm like, that's a lie. I never murdered anybody, and I don't know what they're talking about. But I remember in the dream, I was on the run, and they were looking for me, and they wanted to lock me up. So that makes a lot of sense, right? Because they're going to be chasing Christians after the rapture. And I know I woke up. I want to say at 5:38. I don't know. I was like, man, I knew I should have did a video on this that day. That was like a day, 2 days ago. But anyways, I looked it up in Strong's Concordance. It might have been 5:48. But whatever it was what came up was absent, leave, and then it was like Matthew 5:48 where it was like be ye perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. So the fact that I had those two dreams back to back lets me know that we have to be perfect. We cannot have no stains in our garment, period. We can't listen to no secular TV. We can't, secular music, secular anything. We can't listen to anything worldly. Like, it's right now, you don't want to take a chance with not, not being perfect. And oh yeah, when I woke up this morning, this is the song that was in my head. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. Let's get married. And I'm like, yo, Jagged Edge, 7 years ago. 7 years ago that song came out. Jagged Edge, Let's Get Married. And so I watched the video even though I was a little bit hesitant. I watched it, and halfway through the video, Fredro Starr almost didn't get married because his fiance called him while he was at his bachelor party, and some like stripper like jumped on him when his phone rang, and his phone got like slid on the table, and then his fiance just heard like all this partying, and then the next scene showed him sitting on the steps at the altar sad because he didn't get married. So I'm like, oh, this is from God. Like that just sealed the deal right there, right? And then I kept watching the video because my heart sunk. Because I'm like, man, I can't mess up. I can't mess up in any way. Like right after that dream, I went into my prayer closet. I asked God to forgive me. I kept praying and praying. And I know He doesn't like repetitious things, like when people just repeat things. But I have to repeat things in my mind to reprogram my mind, because the attacks of the enemy is so bad. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, please forgive me. Please forgive me for watching the Amazon show. Lord Jesus, please forgive me for watching it. Please forgive me for watching. I had to do that. But while I was doing that, I felt the Holy Spirit building up stronger, stronger, and stronger, and stronger. I mean, I felt that vibration growing. So I knew I was on track. And I had to ask God to forgive me, because I'm like, God, this is not vain repetition. I really need to repeat things in my mind so I can not think about anything else. Because if I just think one thing, like to try to get out of like a negative thinking, the devil's too powerful. Like because the devil is repetitious. Like it's like God will say turn right, but the devil will tell you to turn left a million times, and then you give in to that pressure. So I have to put the pressure on myself in a positive direction to be on the right track, you know. But anyways, jagged edge. So think about the jagged edge. That's the name of the group, jagged edge. Like that in itself is significant. Like if you're already on the edge, like you're already like dwindling, like you might make it into heaven by the skin of your teeth, you know, like that's a jagged edge, you know. So for me is different, you know. Like I know like my pastors, well I say my pastors, but you know like Pastor Sandy Armstrong or whatever, he's like he's like 10, 15 years older than me. I think he's like in his 50s or 60s. He's not in his 60s, I don't want to say that, but I think he's in his 50s, you know. Like, so I'm like the generation behind them, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit, I'm like the in between generation. Like the generation behind me now, like the ones that are me, the ones that are like 10, 15, 20 years younger than me, that are in their 20s, they're really in danger. But me, like I'm like on the fence type of the generation, you know? And then the ones ahead of us, they're like, I think they're more rooted and grounded in like the Bible and that, you know, like I absolutely knew nothing about the Bible, like nothing. Growing up, my family had nothing to do with it, you know. I have no memories ever of my dad sitting down and reading the Bible to me or explaining or expressing anything to the Bible for me. My dad was a party animal up until he died. You know what I mean? Like when he got sick, obviously he couldn't party because he was sick. But I know if he wasn't sick, he would have been partying, because he was partying all the way up until he got diagnosed with cancer. I mean, I'm talking about every week he went out and partied. And that's why my little brother's in such danger, because, and that's why I was such an outcast, because the whole family was party animals. And I didn't party like that. And so it was kind of like I was the, you know, like, here he comes, you know, like, so that's kind of how they always looked at me. You know what I mean? Like I was the buzzkill. You know, even though I did party, I just didn't party as much as they party. You know what I mean? But anyways, I don't party period anymore. Like I just can't. Even if I wanted to, it just would never feel right, because I'm a different creation now, and I'm thankful for that. But yeah, Jagged Edge was playing "Meet Me at the Altar" in Your White Dress, and so in the middle of the video, that happened right with Frejo, where because his fiance called him during the bachelor party and she heard all the partying going on, that the wedding got canceled. Well, it rewound in the video, like and like rewound or whatever. Rewinded. I don't even know how to say that word. And then it went back to that same scene, and he answered the phone, and he ran out of the room, and his friends was like, "Put that phone down." Da, da, da. And then he ignored him, and he ran out into the hallway. And he was like, "Baby, I love you." And she's like, "I love you too." And then they had the marriage. And then they got married. And in that dream, I mean, in that video, some guy, when he was standing there, after he got married, some guy patted him on his shoulder. And I just had that dream of getting patted on my shoulder. Like, congratulations. I just posted it. I don't know what channel I posted on because I got so many YouTube channels. But I posted it. I'll try to post it on this channel. So it's there. I actually did post it, but I didn't post like the video. I just posted it like this with the black screen or whatever. Or I was in my bed or whatever, but I didn't have the video on me. But I re-recorded the video with it on me, and I uploaded it. But yeah, I think the original one is on here about that one. But yeah, so I'm just glad because in this life you could definitely feel like you don't have like any type of connection with the Lord. You could definitely feel like you could definitely have a lot of doubt. And I know God was seeing it. I was starting to have doubts because all day yesterday I was like mourning. I felt like somebody died yesterday, and it was a bad day at work. I made like $40, and I'm used to making almost $200 a day. You know, so I was super bummed out because I got bills. You know, and I need to make a certain amount of money every day. So, and I don't never ask for help. You know, and I have no family. Both my parents are dead. You know, and I don't have a relationship with my sister, my three brothers. Like, they all avoid me like the plague. They all got hate in their hearts towards me. It's super obvious. I pray for them every night, you know. But I just understand the times that we're living in. I've been bullied my whole life, so I'm super used to being outcasted. I'm super used to people gossiping behind my back. I actually expect it. You know, I actually expect it. I expect people, even new people I meet. I know it's not. It's only. It could be within the first few seconds. And I mean, you know, if they got good hearts, it could take a couple days or a couple weeks, but eventually they'll start thinking negative about me. And I know it's demonic. I know it's spiritual warfare, and I never get mad at them, but I do stay away from them. I cut them off. And that was a big thing. In this dream, there's this guy that popped up in my dream, and he smokes weed, right? But he's a Christian, but he smokes weed, and he thinks it's okay to smoke weed and be a Christian. And he also tells me he wants to be left behind. He's told me that several times that he wants to be left behind. And I'm just like, I don't get that. I don't understand. Like, why would anybody want to be left behind? And he's always says that. He's like, I want God to leave me. He's like, I pray to God and ask God to leave me behind. And I just think he's crazy. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? But, and there's another guy that I just met at the computer store. He was fixing my computer. Sorry. He told me he asked God too that he could be left behind. Because he's in the army. So he gets deployed to Dubai or Afghanistan or somewhere this December. He said he's getting deployed. So I'm just like, man, I need to stay away from these people because they're both Christians. So like, if I meet other Christians, I do want to try to be around them because I feel like we're on the same page, but we're not. Because if they're not if they're not trying to stay in the Word 24/7 like me, I did have that hiccup last night, but normally I don't do that. Normally, like even when I get home, I'm still listening to um, the Bible app. I'm listening to. They got this Sleep with the Bible on Abide. It's like the Abide YouTube channel. So I make sure like I'm coded in the Word. Like that's where I feel safe, and I do it 24/7. I mean, it's the only way I can keep these demonic thoughts like out of my head. And trust me, they still attack me even when I'm listening to this stuff. Even when I'm listening to this stuff, they'll try to the devil will still try to attack me. That's why I know what's going on. Like people who think who don't understand this, they think I'm crazy. They think I am crazy. They don't get it. But I get it. I know what's going on because it's happening to me. And I know the devil's attacking me 24/7. I pray 3 or 4 times before I even leave the house. And then I'm praying the whole time I'm in the car. And then when I get home, like it's a lot. This is overwhelming. And I get mad at God too sometimes because of my dreams. I'm like, God, I need to sleep. I can't be having like these vivid dreams every night. I can't do it. Like it's just sorry. The devil's attacking me, bro. right now with my nose running. But so yeah, obviously he doesn't want this message to get out, but I don't care. I have to post it. I have to. This is a warning that we have to be dotting our I's, crossing our T's. We have to be perfect, like our Father in heaven is perfect. And if we make a mistake, we need to ask for forgiveness. I know some people may think it's silly to ask God to forgive you for watching the TV show, but you just got to be on this level, I guess. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I mean, I can, but I can't explain it to people who don't understand it, you know? So, um, yeah. So I was like, man, I need to break this Xbox or whatever, but I'm definitely gonna unplug it, unplug my TV, and I know now when I come home tonight that I'm just gonna play like some study music in the background while I do my homework, and I'm definitely gonna, even though like I use Instagram to post a lot of things to wake people up. Right now, I feel like it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? Because I fasted from Instagram for like a week and a half. And when I got on there, I wasn't seeing any like Jesus posts or anything, and I follow like a lot of Jesus pages. And I'm like, this is weird. It just like it immediately just went back to worldly stuff. And so then I started cranking out the content because I noticed when I crank out the content, people will reshare it because I'll get tags like when they reshare your stuff or whatever, you get tagged in it. So I knew like what I was doing was essential and that it was needed to like help wake people up. But I'm gonna just stick to the grassroots promotion because I've still probably got like 3,000, 4,000 stickers. I still need to finish sticking up like that's talking about the rapture and if you're left behind, not to take the mark of the beast. And then I got the Jesus stickers that have the Jesus prayer or the salvation prayer on there and John 3:16 and all that. And even if that guy I told you about that smokes weed and wants to be left behind, like I actually don't hang out with him at all because we're both adults. But he'll call me every now and then because he's like he wants to talk about stuff. Like I want to do a video, I want to do this for Jesus, I want to do that, and so I'll entertain it. But usually, I hate to say it, it's kind of like a waste of my time because nothing really gets accomplished, you know. And when I first met this dude, he just told me this last week that he wanted to kill me. He said that he drove by. He moved into a house next to me, and he said he saw his wife look at me, and he said he had to murder me. And I told my other Christian friend like that, and I'm like, man, I didn't say nothing when he said that because at that time I was so depressed. I was asking God, like, I want to die, God, please. I don't want to be here no more. Just because I've always been super spiritually sensitive, and this world is a lot to deal with, and I don't want to be here. Like, I really don't. And I think when I tell people that, they think I'm crazy, but I know if I die, I'm with Christ. So, really, what I'm saying is, I want to go home, and I don't know how else to go home unless the Lord lets me die or He raptures me. But I know those are my two options of getting out of here because I can't take my own life. I'll go to hell because I can't ask for forgiveness after that, right? But I hate it here so much. I've hated it here my whole life. People always thought I was weird, but it's true. I've always felt like I didn't belong here. I always felt like there was something off about this place. Something was wicked and wrong about it, and I can't stand it. I don't want to be here. There's nothing that I want to be here for, you know? I don't. Like I don't want to be I don't want a girlfriend, I don't want to get married, I don't want nothing. I don't want a high paying job, I don't want the sports cars and all that. Like yeah, I know those are fleshly things and they can bait you at times, but I already know there's the only thing that's going to fill my void is being with my creator and being with Jesus. That's it. That's all I want. I don't care about nothing. Even if I get to heaven and they're like, "Oh, you get the," I don't care about those rewards, Jesus. I don't care about a mansion. I just want to hang out with you. I got like a million questions to ask you. I want to hang out with my creator. I love I love my creator. I love God, and that's it. That's the missing piece to the puzzle. That's all I want. I know it may sound weird, but that's it. I don't care. I don't care about a crown, a mansion, rewards, rubies, gems. I don't care. I tell God I don't care about that. I don't just making it to heaven is going to be that's the win-win for me. Homeless in heaven is fine with me. It's heaven. I'll be happy sleeping outside. Like I don't care, like one of the main things that helps me stay distracted here too is animals. Just like looking at animals and watching animals and kids too. But I don't. It's weird you can't even say that these days. But I'm just talking about like the innocence and the joy and the purity. Because there's no wickedness in that. There's just a joy and innocence, and that's what I need to be around. Like I can't function. I'm super homesick. I've been homesick ever since I've been here. Like I've never been happy here ever. And I never could be happy here because all of the bad things that are going on. I used to tell my ex-wife that. And she's like, you're bipolar, you're schizophrenic because she was studying psychology. And I'm like, no, you're being programmed by Sigmund Freud and all these other crazy psychologists. Like, this world is crazy. And people would always tell, like, she even had me going to, like, getting psychological checkups. And the psychologists, I would be talking to the psychologists about this stuff as they would fall asleep on me. And I would just let them sleep. And I'd be on my phone, and when they wake up, and I'm like, oh, is the session over? And they'd be drooling on stuff like this really happened. But they all said I was like schizophrenic and bipolar and stuff. Like, I'm like, I'm not. And my wife was trying to get me to get like a check and all that. And I'm like, man, these people are crazy. And they would tell me, like, if everybody's saying that you're crazy and you're schizophrenic and bipolar, you are. The world's not crazy, you're crazy. And I'm like, man, these people just don't get it. Like, yes, the world is crazy. Yes, everybody is crazy. I'm sane. I know the Bible, like I know the Lord's word, like I'm not crazy. But that just shows you, like in that dream, when the restrainer is removed and the Holy Spirit is gone, and even the second Esdras, I was listening to that for the past 2 days. Second Esdras, I'm gonna listen to it again today. I'm gonna do things in threes, you know. But second Esdras was saying like wit would be gone, common sense would be gone, knowledge would be gone, wisdom would be gone, and people from other countries would be asking like this country or that country like, is there anybody righteous there? Do you know anybody who's righteous? Like people are going to be thirsting for this. They're going to be thirsting for the truth. Like you guys, people are lucky right now that you can still download the Bible app. Like you can still order the Apocrypha and you can still get the banned books from the Bible and read Jasher and Bartholomew and Paul and the Revelations. Like you're lucky that the Bible is still around right now because there will be a time where they need it and they won't have it. And I'm in complete agreement with the Lord. Like there's a lot of things like I didn't agree with. Like even the second Ezra's, how they were talking about the whole world basically could perish, and they're talking about like is gold better than silver, and copper, brass, and like basically the rarity of these these metals or whatever. And it was like silver is really common, but if somebody finds gold, like they appreciate it. Like the guy who has like all the silver is going to be envious of the guy that finds the gold, right? And so it was like God feels the same way. Like, yeah, he created all this creation, but he's he doesn't care. Like the harvest is you know, about him harvesting what's good out of that harvest. So if you plant all these crops, you're looking for the best crop. You don't care about all the withered and the deformed and mangled crops. Like you're looking for the good crop, the one that produces the good yield. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here because I went way too long, but those were the two dreams. The first dream, I was on the run. They were trying to capture me, and I knew there was nowhere to go. And I woke up at that time, and it said absent, leave. And then when I scrolled all the way down, it was like Matthew 5:48, where it said, "Be ye perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect," or be ye holy, or be ye righteous like your Father in heaven is. And so that one was like, well, I knew because I looked it up in the Strong's Concordance, and I had a thought to look it up in the Strong's Concordance. I haven't done that lately. I knew that was from God. But then I kind of, you wake up, you go about your routine, and it goes to the back of your mind. And then this morning, I woke up with that, and I knew it was because that Amazon TV show was playing in the background. So I just like, God, please put on the full armor of God 3 times in a row. And please, Lord, take over my complete thinking. Do not let me make these mistakes because these bodies are flawed and I'm so stupid. And I make all these stupid mistakes every day and I hate myself for it. I really do. I don't want to do this. I don't want to sin. I'm just an idiot. And I just do stupid stuff all the time because I doubt. Like as soon as I get to second guessing, I don't know, man. I'm a mess. So, you know, and I'm super scared, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want to get left behind. They're probably going to kill me super quick anyways because I'm pretty aware that they know I'm the guy that's posting up these stickers everywhere. And I did have those black helicopters follow me a lot. They haven't really been messing with me lately, but pretty much all this year they were on me heavy, 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 heavy. And I know they were because they would fly super low and they'd be looking at the guy in the helicopter would be looking at me like I know those black helicopters. And it wasn't just the black helicopters, it was even the green helicopters. It was all the helicopter dudes, even from the hospitals they were following me because I was sticking up those stickers at the hospital. And yeah, because I know what's going on here. Like Les Wexner was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and Les Wexner has the Wexner Medical Center here on the college campus. And I remember last summer they had all the college kids running around with upside down red crosses on their forehead. They had all the college kids painting upside down red crosses on their forehead. This place is demonic. Mickey's Late Night Slice Pizza, they put the pedophilia symbol on their pizza. And then they got these really cryptic ads of like the slice of pizza running with little kids, and then they're partnered up with the diaper bank. And they had some dude from Oddfellas commenting in on it. And I mean, gourmet pizza is suspect, mellow mushroom is suspect, condado tacos is suspect. Cheesecake Factory suspect. If you guys are aware of occult symbolism and you know like the satanic symbols that these people these that Satanists use, and you go to these places, you already know that they're demonic. And if they're demonic and they're posting up demonic and satanic stuff, then more than likely they're involved with child sacrifice and child sex trafficking. And Ohio is like a big, big state for that. So I'm not stupid, and I listen to the Holy Spirit, and I'm like 100% sure that's what's going on because why else would would that be so obvious to me? VigilantCitizen.com helped me understand a lot of occult symbolism, but the CIA website posts those pedo symbols. Chipotle uses the pedo symbol. Um, Taco Bell, like I mean, I can go on and on and on. Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. This place is disgusting. They're just really quiet about it. I think back in the day it was more out in the open. They so bad want to come out in the open. And like I said in that second dream that I had today, when that kid was talking about it, like having sex with his daughter, and the other girl was like, "Yeah, if your daughter wants it, you should give it to her." Like these people had no common sense. Like they were really thinking like if these kids say that they want that they want that. Like they're stupid. They're just ignorant and it's trash. And they need. I guess they're going to go to hell. I mean, hey, you know, God is God. He knows better than me. And if that's a bad batch, man, you gotta burn it. You gotta burn it. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Stay close to Jesus.